My name is Pepe Francis, and I'm the director of Ebony Steel Band Trust. Well, I grew up in Trinidad in a little village called Monrepo in Movan, and I've been involved with steel band since I was 8 years old. We had the village steel band, and then I ended up in Ebony Steel Band. It was part of my culture in growing up. Steelband culture in the UK has grown tremendously, actually. It's over the years, since the days of Dixieland coming here, and even before that, you had the Taspo coming here and playing for the celebration of Britain. I think steel band started to grow from there, because a lot of the people who was involved in the steel band came out of Taspo. And then you had Dixieland coming here, and a lot of the players in Dixieland stayed here and carried on the culture of steel band. The steel band just spread. People came from Trinidad, people came from the Caribbean who was into steel band, and now there's steel bands all over Britain. Oh, that's some black question. Keeps coming up over and over. Ebony Steel Band started in a guy called Cape James. His name is actually Ethelred James, but we called him Cape. And it started in his backyard with just him and a guy called Randolph Batiste and a guy called Winston P. Joseph. They were some of the original founders of Ebony Steel Band in the days back in Cape's backyard. And it moved after Cape's backyard, after he was getting so much trouble from the neighbors for noise. It moved into the town hall in Acton, not the town hall, sorry, the Grenada Center in Acton. And that's where we were based for a long time. That's where I came in. And we just grew from there. And unfortunately, the building burned down, and we had to move. And that's when we moved from Acton down to Paddington in a place called the Crypt, where we were based for a number of years before we moved into Labrador. I think Ebony's success has been because of, first of all, I think it's because of the discipline we had within the band and how the band came about, and because Ebony's always been a family band. So anybody joining Ebony joined a family, and we have a lot of family generations to generations within Ebony. Ebony is now going through its 5th generation of players, right? I mean, we have people who were the children of players of Ebony now, including my own, now who is in Ebony, and there's children of those children involved in Ebony. So Ebony has been a family band from its inception. It's always been family and friends that started Ebony, and it continues that way up to now. That's how that's how we've always had it. Ebony has won 22 panoramas over the years. We start off preparing for the panorama from around June, as soon as everybody is back from Trinidad Carnival. Some of the people who went would have a feel of the music and what it's like, and we start preparing from around June. We start practicing within this room here, and we build up from there until we have to move out by the end of July, when the band is too big to fit within this space. So we then have to move. We rent space somewhere else and we moved there. Well, the lows was we didn't win Panorama. But the highs were we won the Juve competition, best band, and we won the best band on the road. Also, I think one of the other highs was our mass band has grown a lot over the last 2 years, and this year it was quite a large mass band. So, because Ebony is both a steel band and a mass band. Well, Ebony is a working band. I mean, we go through the year. We do performances wherever I mean, like this month we've got a lot of bookings because it's Black History Month. So we're doing a lot of bookings. This is a month where we do a lot of charity work as well. So we work right through the year, and we tour a lot. Ebony is a touring band, so we travel a lot. Not as much as we used to, but we still travel a lot. Well, no, if you're in Ebony, you have the opportunity to learn. I mean, steel pan is a skill. Steel pan is an alternative to any other job. I mean, we have a lot of players here now who's playing steel pan for a living, who's grown up in the band and now is working with top musicians. I mean, I have one player here who is touring with Courtney Pine, and so we have, it's always an alternative. We teach it in schools, etc. So if you are good enough, you become a tutor, and you can go and teach band wherever. We have classes here that people teach. So Ebony has been, the opportunities are immense within Ebony. I've been involved in Notting Hill Carnival since its inception. I was involved with Leslie Palmer when he started, and through the years I've worked with I've served on so many different committees. I lose track. I've been the chairman of Notting Hill Carnival. I've worked at Notting Hill Carnival, throughout my entire life in England. The next 12 months, I haven't even started thinking about the next 12 months. I'm mostly looking at how many players is going to Trinidad next year for Carnival to get that experience. I'm looking at what gigs we have coming up over the next 12 months, and basically to start to prepare for next year. In fact, I started preparing for next year already. So, I mean, that's my main thing now that I'm working with the rest of the committee and the staff that we have within Ebony. My name is Pepe Francis, and this has been my interview with the Culture Essential.
Live your life to the fullest.